What's up, y'all? My name is Sam. I go by the artist name Casso, and I have a little over 15,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. I want to say I have maybe like 300 to 1,000 monthly listeners on Apple Music, and those are really the only platforms I pay attention to. But in this video, I'm going to tell you some steps you could do in order to make monthly income as an artist. First step I would say is to make good songs. Like, I feel like that is the prerequisite for anything else I'm going to tell you. Make good music. And I know it's easier said than done, but if you spend the time making music, eventually you will understand how to make a good song that is authentic to you in whatever type of genre you do. I do Christian hip hop, and I make about anywhere from $200 to $500 a month. And I actually haven't put out a song since January, and it is now May. But I still have royalties that come in, whether it's from BMI, DistroKid, um, what is it, Sound Exchange, or there's another one I can't remember right now. But yeah, so I get royalties from there each month, and it ranges from 200 to 500. So first thing I would say is to learn how to make a good sounding song. So you could either lock in with a really dope producer in your area, someone who could, possibly do stuff for free and then get royalties on the back end. I'm not saying find someone to do it for free, but I will say that if you develop a good working relationship with a producer, they might just want the royalties on the back end. That's how I would do if I was a producer. And I am a producer, and that's how I tend to do it. I've never really sold a beat. I just made sure I had my names in the credits and I was getting royalties. So that's how that works. Because you never know when a song is going to pop. You could pay a producer $300 and then your song pops and you end up making $3 million. Well, they're going to feel some type of way. Just saying. So producers out there, you don't necessarily have to charge. I understand if you want to, that's totally fine. But just think about the long term. So yeah, make a good song. Artists, make a good song. I will honestly say learn how to produce your own music. That would be number two. Learn how to produce your own music, because I just think as an independent artist, you don't really need a music making team like you think you do. If you have the ideas, the know-how, and the capability to make a song, you could literally make a song by yourself. And the first song that I had that like really did numbers is called Waymaker. It's still my most popular song to this day. And it's almost 4 years old. It's still getting like 1,000 streams per day. And I literally made that song at home by myself. I produced the song, made the beat, did the hook and a verse, and then I got someone to put a verse on it. So majority of the royalties come to me. And of course the artist who's on the song, he gets a cut. I think we did a 60-40 or 70-30 split, but he gets money from that song as well. But I don't have to pay a label. I don't have to pay producers. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty dope to make that amount of money. It helps me buy groceries. It helps me pay bills. So learn how to make a song. Learn how to make a good song is number one. And number two is learn how to produce your own music. Number three is to find someone who can mix and master your song, or if you're like me, mix and master your own songs. I just find that stuff interesting, so that's why I took it upon myself to mix and master my songs, because I just really like doing it. And I want to say about 90% of the music I've put out, I've mixed. And of course, over the years, I've learned how to make it better. And with tools like AI or just plugins that make stuff easier, mixing and mastering your music is a lot more swift of a process than it probably used to be back in the day. So yeah, so I would say learn how to mix and master your music, or find someone who's really good, or you can use online platforms like eMastered, Lander to do it for you. But just realize there's a cost to that, and there's also a cost to finding someone to mix and master your music. But you want it to be done well, so consider all three. Just know the first one might take a little while because you have to learn how to do it. I would say number 4 would be to submit your music to playlist. Now, this is one of the reasons a couple of my songs have popped because I submitted it to playlists on Spotify. I submitted it to playlists from third-party organizations that show your music to like gamers, streamers, and blog posts and other playlists. I think one of the ones I use is Submit Hub. Submit Hub is dope because it gives you the categories and genres that you can submit to, and you get feedback if you pay the extra to get feedback from the people. And that feedback actually helps because it lets you know, okay, this song wasn't technically for this playlist, but it may be for another playlist. And they're very honest with you. They say, I don't tend to use Christian music. I don't tend to use upbeat music. So that kind of helps you narrow down what playlist you can submit to. Spotify playlisting, that's sometimes a hit or miss, but I will say the prerequisite to getting on a Spotify playlist is to make a really good song. And I know people may have tips and tricks to try to get you up there, maybe writing something compelling, but it's not about what you're writing. It's actually about if the song is good and if the song can fit the playlist. So I would listen to certain playlists and I would see what type of tempo ranges they had on the playlist, and the songs that I make, I'll be like, okay, this would fit that playlist. So I'm just going to submit. And in the submission form, I usually say something like, this song would do great on a workout playlist. This song would do great on a study playlist and things of that nature. Just giving them like some hints as to how you made the song, like what playlist you see it being on, what type of playlist you see it being on. And yeah, that also helps. But for the Spotify playlist, there's really no surefire way other than to make a good song, because they're going to listen to it. They're going to listen especially to the first 10 to 30 seconds, because the song has to, keep the playlister entertained at least for 10 seconds. But if they hear something that isn't good, they're just going to skip right over it. If they hear something that's totally outside the scope of what they usually put on the playlist, they're going to not use it, or they're going to skip right over it. So playlist. So number 1, we have make a good song. Number 2, we have learn how to produce or find a producer. Number 3, we have learn how to mix and master, or find someone who can, or find a platform that can do it for you. And number 4 is to submit your songs to playlists after you make a really good song. And number 5, and the final tip I would say, is to make sure you have all of your royalties set up from the jump. So your first song you make, if you're just about to start off, or if you've made a bunch of songs, you need to go back and submit it to places like ASCAP, BMI, Sound Exchange. There's this other one I cannot remember the name of, but it's good for international royalties. I might just have to link it in the description because I use all 3 of them, and every month I get a check. And basically, your song could be being played on radio stations that you don't know about. I know my song has been played on Sirius XM radio. Sirius XM radio pays a lot per spin. Like, I think per one spin, it was like $5. And I got like 30 spins. So you could do the math on that. On one song, I got about 30 spins. But these royalty capturing platforms really help you as an artist get the money you deserve from your music being good, from people listening to it and people sharing it. BMI even goes as far as to capturing your royalties from people who use Spotify Premium, or people who use Spotify while they're on the plane. There's one time I saw this, basically this, not a transaction, but I don't know what to call it, but you can literally go on BMI and see where your song was played. Like, they send you a royalty statement. And I saw that someone was listening to my song on JetBlue. Now, I didn't go too deep into it, but either someone was listening to it on JetBlue, or JetBlue was playing my song on the plane. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I never really cared too much about it. I just was grateful that I was able to see that from BMI or Sound Exchange. But Songtrust, that's the other one. Songtrust, that's a good one too. But yes, please set your stuff up. Like I would say, as soon as you drop the song, go ahead and even before you drop the song, go ahead and just do what you need to do to publish it. It's very easy to use when you go on these sites. Like you'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can go on YouTube and find someone who can walk you through the process of how to set it up. But yeah, so those are my 5 things. And trust me, you will make, I consider this passive income. Like this is my first real passive income that I've ever made in my life. I'm 30 years old and I just been noticing for the past 5 years, every month I've gotten between $200 to $500 just by making music years ago and, people finding it. But I want to add one more thing. Spotify has this thing called discovery mode. If you know about discovery mode, you know how helpful it is because it basically makes your music discoverable to people after they have listened to a song that they like or a playlist that they like. The discovery mode will suggest your music to them, not even suggest it. It'll just start playing it. If they like it, of course, they'll listen all the way through and they may add it. And then you even get stats on that as to how many people saved it, how many people put it on a playlist, how many people restreamed it, how many people followed you. And you just get all of these numbers to see how people are receiving your music. And, big thanks to Spotify for introducing that. If you're an artist, you should really hop on that. You can look at it or you can get access to it going through your Spotify for Artists account. If you don't have a Spotify for Artists account, go ahead and make one. You're missing out on a lot of cool features. But yeah, that's just a little bit about how I make money as an artist. Like I said, I haven't made music since January, so that's like almost 6 months. I probably will in the future, but for right now, I'm just chilling, enjoying my family. I just had a child, a beautiful baby daughter, and I'm really focusing right now on my career as a DP filmmaker. I have another channel called It's Cinema Sam if you want to see what I do up there. But yeah, I just took like a little break from music and I still have songs I could put out. I'm just not doing too much. And I'm happy that I'm still able to make money just because I had set all of these things up in the past. So as an artist, it's good to think about your future. It's even good to sign up for DistroKid and sign up to have your music stay on the platform even after you're gone from this earth. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. See y'all in the next one.